Raja, a very good evening.
Namaskar.
Namaskar. Today I am asking you one very important question. You might have heard that your colleague has already expressed concern over the vaccination, fake vaccination going
Okay.
on in Kolkata.
Okay.
So, what is your take on it as a enlightened person? You might have your own thoughts on it. So, do you want to add something?
First of all, I'm Raja Mukhopadhyay, the West Bengal State Observer from the Central Committee of Akhil Bharat Hindu Mahasabha, and with me Rajiv Nath Roy, the West Bengal State Spokesperson. A very good evening to the citizens of India and my brothers and sisters of Bengal. First of all, it's very unfortunate, Shuman, what has really happened, right? What I really want to say is that this is something which we were fearing, right? And that's why we have been voicing so much in various satellite televisions and all. You have to understand two things, right? There is something called conventional vaccination or conventional vaccines, the way the conventional vaccines are produced, right? And this is something which is very new concept, first of its kind being approved, which is called the mRNA, right? That means messenger RNA. RNA stands for the ribonucleic acid within your cell, right? So it's a genetic material, right, led vaccine, and this is the first time ever in the history of the entire vaccine industry that such kind of vaccine has been given an approval. Now, what is the difference between a conventional vaccine and mRNA vaccine? I'm not going into the depth, because that is beyond the scope of this question. But all I am going to say that our governments, both at the state level in West Bengal and other states, right, and at the central level, the Ministry of Health, right, the central offices of the drug controllers, they should have been very careful in controlling the licensing norms of who could actually give a vaccine. And I believe it very strongly that only hospitals and licensed places should be awarded the right to give a vaccine. Now today you move anywhere in the world, across India, you will see, the corporation is giving vaccination, right? In association with the health department, you will see, there might be small clubs who are arranging this in our government premises, right? You would be seeing somebody like Apollo Clinics giving, vaccination, right? I have no problem when hospitals give away these vaccines because they are trained to do so, right? They have a license and they have some kind of preset qualification to do so. But I'm not very much, in favor, right, of volunteers supporting these facilities where a large number of people are coming into vaccination. And when there are a large number of people coming together in this big country, there would be problem of monitoring, and which these guys, this nefarious guys, has taken advantage of. And today we have a scam, and as Rajiv rightfully said, Rajiv named that the Jadavpur MP of Trinamool Congress, Madam Mimi Chakraborty, she took the vaccine, she went back home, and very rightfully she could not find the message on her mobile which confirmed that she has taken the vaccine. So she called up couple of times. Again, after some time, she saw that there is no message. So she got a little bit, worried, and she made a couple of calls and she found out and she busted the racket, right? So if someone at the level of a member of parliament, right,
could be fooled,
yeah. So what about the common man on the street? They would not know, and they don't know what a vaccine protocol is all about, right? What is there on the wall? Because I have seen so many people, right, even from my family, people have gone and taken a vaccine, and they're so scared before the vaccine that they don't want to look at the vaccine itself, and they just close their eyes, just put their hand in and turn their face away, and the vaccine is in. They don't know what is in. Coming back actually, what point I would like to make to Shuman, to you, is that in such a very big country where a lot of people are getting vaccinated, the state and the central government should have been very careful in disposing the way vaccination should be done. The procedure, the standard operating procedures should have been very strict. And who are the people who are engaged in this activity? Now everything is very political. You understand, there is a fight between the center and the state. Everybody wants to become a hero from day one, that they want to give the vaccine, right? Rajiv has its share, during the day of saying what he wanted to say, but I would come down very heavily on the entire mechanism, the way this, vaccination is getting done. I'm not in favor of that.
So that means you are saying it is something like India's vaccine gate?
It's just that if tomorrow I have a wishful thinking, and I, start sitting in the Lal Bazaar and start operating like a deputy commissioner of police would do, right? That's not my job. I'm not trained to do so, right? I'm not supposed to be there, right? And if I try to be there, there would be one thing, that is a disaster. That is exactly what is happening. And I would say that this thing, what has happened in the Kolkata, could be just the tip of an iceberg of what is going on in the country.
So another question, you have already mentioned that mRNA and DNA-based vaccination process. So Indian pharma companies mainly importing the ingredients, active pharma ingredients from the China. And there is already a saying that those who have taken the Chinese vaccine, they are developing something SARS-CoV-2 virus kind of symptoms.
I will just, I didn't want it to go very deep into this, but first, as of now, we had AIDS 40 years down the line. There is no vaccine which has been developed. We don't have a community solution also to DNA. So what surprises me that in a record-breaking time, groundbreaking time, this entire concept of this mRNA vaccine has come in. Now, just because you raised this question, I have to explain you that what this mRNA and what is this conventional vaccine is all about. Now, it's just that in a conventional vaccination procedure, right, it's just the element which is responsible for the entire disease in a very inert state is being infused, right, as a vaccine, right, and we wait for that to act. The body actually starts recognizing that protein, right, and gradually it responds to the stimulus, right. In this case, it's just that this mRNA vaccination, the entire thing is that a monoclonal antibody is inserted, right, and a synthetic RNA is manufactured. I will not go into the deeper of the nitty-gritties because I will leave that for the scientists to do, and I'm not well educated into this. I must say I'm not well educated for this, licensed to say on all this. But then this synthetic replication that happens, that goes into the body, right, and triggers the same kind of protein that the disease causing virus would do, and the body responds by creating a defense mechanism around that. Now this is a whole lot of complex process. There is a whole lot of clinical trials that must have been through. There are two sides of the coin. One says this was not to haste, it is rightfully done. Some say it is done in a haste, and we have seen couple of disasters happening, right, with some of the manufacturers across the globe. But one thing is for sure, if you could not develop a DNA vaccine in the 40 years regime, right, my question is, how could you produce this mRNA so fast? And if you have produced, how you have produced, what are the active ingredients? People has a right to know. In every country there are laws, specific laws sovereign to that country. We in India also have a Right to Information Act, which is very, of course, limited, right, in its purview. And I think, but still there are matters of public interest litigations, because this engulfs the people at large of this country. There should not be any sedition charges against people for asking questions in this country, because this is the world's largest democracy. A few days back, there was a lady in Lakshadweep. She said that this is some kind of a bioweapon and all this stuff, this virus and all, and she was arrested on sedition charges and later released, right? So what is going on all around the globe is something which should be brought out very transparently in front of the people who are the recipients or end users. If I am using a medicine, I have a right to know Like in most of the, you would see the diabetic medicines and all, there's a whole set of disclosure that you can get a brain stroke, you can get a clot, you can get this, you can get that, but it is advisable to take that medicine under your doctor's supervision, because your doctor exactly knows in your body what is the percentage of that acting in a particular way. Likewise, I think this vaccination program should have been very strictly guided by your personal physician who knows your body, who knows your constitution, right? And under his guidance, this vaccination should have been done. I think the fear of the pandemic or what is going on behind the curtain is drawing, the government to force people into this vaccination, and I think not very well regulated the way it's happening. Nobody actually, makes it compulsory for you to take a pneumonia vaccine. But yes, it is again compulsory. If you are flying to the African countries, you have to take a yellow fever vaccine, and they have a right to detain you or watch you over a period of time when you enter their port of entry, right, without a yellow fever vaccine. That I understand is a regulatory norm. So until and unless there is a regulatory norm in place, and they have a perfect reason for that, nobody could be forced into vaccination. Number one. Number two, there should not be a sense of fear which is generated, right? I will give you an example, Suman. I don't want to drag this discussion for very long because media time is very valuable. You see, we have in this country, doctors started shouting, third wave is coming, Delta variant, Delta plus variant. How many doctors have seen Delta and Delta plus variant? Can they please raise their hand and send us a, small WhatsApp message? We want to meet them and we want to understand what is this Delta variant, what is this Delta plus variant, and how do you know about them, that they are the Delta variant and they are the Delta plus variant. Again, you are so sure that it is going to hit the kids. So has the virus made faxes and telephone calls and transponded messages or some kind of willpower which tells you that yes, this time it is going to hit out at our children. And I think there is a big mockery going on with this, which is not the way a nation should allow it to happen, right? We have a government, a Bahumat se chuni hui government at the center, and the very educated people sitting at the top. It is time that they take India to the path of becoming a superpower. If our people are not strong, if our people are not fear-free, then we will not have a strong nation, right? So one, to sum up, a very strong regulatory environment and supervision under which this vaccination procedure should be conducted. Number two, the quality and the origin of the vaccine should be 10 times cross-checked to avoid what has happened in Kolkata. It's a big scam that has happened in Kolkata. And I go back saying on and from the platform of Akhil Bharat Hindu Mahasabha that this could be just the tip of the iceberg. And the people who are watching this in villages, people who are watching this news today into the Mafassal small towns, right, they would be very scared to go and take the vaccine with a very free mind. So government should do something to build confidence into the system, back into the system, and for that to happen, we have to have this vaccination done only at licensed facilities and under strict medical supervision. Thank you.
Thank you very much.